In the stillness of the early morning, Ibrahim Traoré sat alone in his office. It was 2 a.m., but the phones wouldn't stop ringing. The country was in crisis. In the presidential palace, the central bank president, the economy minister, and a circle of trusted advisors were locked in an emergency meeting. The headlines flashing on the screen told a grim tale. French banks had frozen all money transfers to Burkina Faso. The IMF suspended loan disbursements, and the CFA franc was being pulled off the market. The nation stood on the brink of economic collapse. Traoré slammed his fist on the table. "This is how they've kept us shackled for decades. Even our currency isn't truly ours," he declared, eyes blazing with determination. He turned to his team, unveiling a plan so daring that disbelief filled the room. "We can't do this," the finance minister whispered. "No one ever has," Traoré smiled. "Then we'll be the first." Outside, the glittering lights of Ouagadougou masked the storm raging within the palace walls. Traoré moved to the window, hands clasped behind his back, and quietly asked, "How much in reserves do we have?" "Officially, $400 million, replied Dr. Amina Konate, central bank president. "But most of it is trapped in accounts in Paris. We have no access." "And the gold?" Traoré pressed. "We have 78 tons registered," Konate replied hesitantly. "But that too sits in French vaults." Traoré's bitter smile deepened. "Exactly." The economy minister shifted uncomfortably. "Mr. President, leaving the West African Economic Union and abandoning the CFA franc is economic suicide." "Suicide?" Traoré's voice was fierce. "Or liberation? How can we call ourselves independent when we can't even print our own money? The CFA franc is our final chain of colonization." Zongo spread his hands. "All of West Africa uses it. Mali, Niger, Senegal. They all remain stuck in poverty." Traoré stepped closer. "Do you know why? Because every time we print money, we have to back it with dollars deposited in the French treasury. We pay to use our own money. Is that freedom?" Silence fell. The truth was undeniable, yet the path forward seemed impossible. For 70 years, the CFA franc had bound these nations to foreign control. Independence was a mere illusion. Dr. Konate sighed. "We lack the infrastructure to create a new currency. No printing presses. And if people panic and withdraw their money, the system collapses." Traoré placed a file on the table. "That's why I've been preparing this in secret for 3 months. Operation Sankara, Thomas Sankara's dream. Financial independence." The room gasped. Inside the file were blueprints for a new currency to replace the CFA franc, the Burkina gold. "This is impossible," stammered the finance minister. "Without international recognition, we can't sustain this." Traoré pulled a small gold-colored coin from his pocket. The Burkina gold prototype, minted from 100% domestic gold, mined and refined on their own soil. "But foreign companies control our mines," Konate countered. Traoré's eyes sparkled with defiance. "Not anymore. We nationalized the mines. The army has already taken control. Executives have been quietly escorted out." Shock rippled through the room. The move was audacious and perilous, but necessary. "What about sanctions?" Konate asked. "They'll come," Traoré admitted. "But to punish us, they need access. And that's why we've forged secret partnerships with Russia, China, Iran, Turkey, India, and Brazil. We'll trade directly with them, bypassing the dollar and euro." The economy minister shook. "I didn't know any of this." "No one needed to," Traoré said kindly. "If French intelligence caught wind, this blockade would have started months ago." Konate held the coin up to the light. "It's beautiful. But will people trust it?" Traoré smiled. "They've stored gold for generations. Now we offer them money with real value, not empty paper. And here's the key." He opened another file. Digital wallets. The Burkina Digital Wallet, a free mobile app for every citizen. Gold-backed, secure, transparent, and completely outside Western banks. The finance minister shook his head, both awed and alarmed. This is madness and genius. But how will we convince the people? At that moment, Traoré's assistant entered. Mr. President, the connection is ready. Traoré signaled to the screen. Leaders from Mali, Niger, Guinea, Togo, and Benin appeared, united in resolve. The West has pulled their economic weapon again, Traoré said. But this time, we're ready. 2 hours later, the room buzzed with renewed energy. Fear gave way to fierce determination. As dawn broke over Ouagadougou, Traoré made the first of many bold broadcasts. Calm and resolute in military uniform, he spoke directly to the nation. Last night, French banks and Western powers launched an economic war against us. They cut off our money because we dared to claim independence. Today, we abandoned the CFA franc. We introduced the Burkina gold, backed by our own gold reserves and our own will. He held up the gold coin, then displayed the glowing digital wallet app on his phone. All accounts in CFA francs will be converted to Burkina gold at double value. No one loses, everyone gains. Our money belongs to us. Across the country, fear was replaced by hope, as people downloaded the app and embraced a future of true freedom. In Paris, panic spread through the central bank. 6 countries had left the CFA system simultaneously, a coordinated, historic break. Sanctions were prepared, but the momentum was unstoppable. Back in Ouagadougou, support poured in from Russia, China, India, Turkey, Brazil, and South Africa. Millions had already adopted the new currency. Months passed. Trade flourished. The African gold system expanded to 14 countries, ushering in a new era. At an international summit in Moscow, Traoré explained, "We didn't go back to the gold standard. We leapt forward, with digital gold, sovereign and secure." Western media howled warnings, but Traoré smiled. "We're not turning away from the West, we're embracing the whole world. We have many partners, no masters." A year later, at the United Nations, Traoré's speech echoed across the globe. A year ago, 6 countries took a stand. Today, 22 African nations share our vision. Inflation is down, trade is up, technology is thriving. We were told we couldn't. We simply did. The room erupted in applause. Burkina Faso's journey was no longer just a national victory. It was a continental revolution. And for the first time in centuries, Africa was free to write its own financial destiny.